Hey, everybody, it's been a little while. I've been doing a lot of interviews around town and on podcasts, on radio shows, and it's about time that we start getting at least some links to those and for you to be able to listen to some of these interviews. So, I'm going to start putting out more audio interviews on myself, and of course, there is a big documentary that I'm working on and the audiobook, which is taking a lot more time if you want to hear it and you want to hear it right. I have had to go through a little bit of a process in order to get all the equipment necessary to do that. So, we are talking about It's Not Aliens Worse, It's Us Discovering Our Lost History. I have really enjoyed this interview recently on Conflict Radio with Michael Cremo. And we spent a couple hours, in fact, it was supposed to go maybe an hour and a half, and we ended up talking for about 2.5 hours. Such an incredible guy. He wrote a book called Forbidden Archaeology. For those who don't know, this is one of the foundational works for my work, which is all about the fact that there was at least one ancient, high-tech human society here on Earth prior to what we know of. And that society fell. And I write about that and all the indications from our genetic indicators that are still in us are what appear to be superhuman abilities. And also just the technology that's laying around. We look at these large ancient stone structures and, well, they're very complex. And then we find very small objects. And so I cover a lot of things in the book, from water consciousness, genetic information, trees, plants, a whole bunch of stuff you'd like to throw on sandals for and listen to. But all of it comes around to the idea that there is at least one ancient high-tech human society that has been on this planet all along. They survived multiple floods and or catastrophes that we are slowly but surely rediscovering the complexities of these societies through megalithic stonework, items that are out of place, out of time. And one of the gentlemen that did some of the most incredible research, not just from an alternative standpoint, but Michael Cremo did Forbidden Archaeology and thought he would spend about 9 months and instead spent about 10 years writing this book. It's a seminal work. So yes, Forbidden Archaeology is this incredible book that has been something that for anyone who's interested in original paleoanthropological, archaeological, anthropological work of period times, ancient times, historical times, he intended on writing this book, and it was going to be just cover maybe some interesting anomalies, those out of place, out of time artifacts that everybody keeps finding, and just, oh, it's a mystery. Oh, it's interesting. And rather than having a linchpin to determine that the standard academic models, which are, again, theories, they are not fact. They have become entrenched, and they're synonymously called not theories by just saying that they're the standard academic model. The theory of evolution is exactly still what that sounds like, the theory. Michael Cremo spent over 900 pages discussing paleoanthropological finds from the second modern humans started digging again, finding humans millions of years before what we currently accept for the paradigm of evolution. So right now, we consider humans being, maybe the modern human history as far back as just stop banging rocks about 2 million years. And then we slowly evolved to wearing loincloths around 50,000 years ago. And the problem is that what Michael found through paleoanthropological finds, even turn of the century and prior, you have existing anatomically correct humans alongside these other alleged evolutionary models of Neanderthal, Denisovan, Lucy, for instance. These are all considered human prototypes that were part of this evolution to become modern humans. The problem is that alongside them are perfectly normal human beings found in sandstone footprints like bare feet and boot prints. And Michael goes as far into the agenda, not even like he's talking gray state prior to people talking gray state. And this is Rockefeller Foundation and despite anything I could tell you right now, Forbidden Archaeology is something, yeah, I'd like you to buy my book, but Forbidden Archaeology is a seminal work that is important if you want to really take a serious look to what our actual history is. These are not anonymous. These aren't explainable. These aren't finds that you're going to look at and go, oh, there's this other alternative reason for it being here. And the book is well researched, and he spent 10 years on it. And of course, he's continued research for many, many, many decades now. And being able to interview him, being able to sit down with him with Conflict Radio and have a conversation about his latest works on consciousness and all of it being included together. It's not just that there are ancient finds and it's important for us to know the past. It's the fact that part of our high technology is in our genes, the coding itself for how we become now superhuman, like Wim Hof or Stig Severinsen, or movement specialized and in the movement culture like Erwin LaCour and Ido Portal. There are a lot of different ways that you can actually activate positive gene expression and become healthy, but not just in the moment, not just losing some weight, but also understanding that our consciousness is part of a technology that was once connected to a worldwide system that was very advanced. It wasn't as simple as you listening to this video or YouTube audio on a computer. We're talking about a very well-connected society that was using engineered soil extensively around the planet, along with buildings and structures and waves and frequencies, and we're just starting to scratch the surface on it. That is kind of what my book encompassed, and Forbidden Archaeology is one of those conversations to have, especially anything that Michael Cremo did for forwarding with an incredible calm, the research that should make you stand up and get out of your chair and go, what the hell? How can these finds be ignored? How can there be recent news? At least here we are at the beginning of August. How is it that there can be recent news of maybe humans were in Latin and North America is somewhere around 20,000, 30,000 years ago total now. The headlines you'll see now are humans found 20,000 years earlier than thought, and they're in totality saying that maybe humans have been around over 35,000 years in North America, when Michael Cremo is the first person to really champion Virginia Steam McIntyre's Huaylaco find in Mexico, which is easily between 275 and over 500,000 years old. And these are all things that were done in the middle 1900s, and it's still like a snail trail to get to the truth. So this is a great conversation to look at. That's why I wanted to say hi quick to everyone who's been so patiently waiting for me to put something else out. I'm going to provide a link for you to get to Conflict Radio. Please go over and listen to it. Was such a fun time talking to Michael. Totally worth your time. I think you'll learn something out of it. Also, a lot of new questions, everything about this, unfortunately. Every time I'm going to probably tell you to say you're going to learn something or really enjoy it, it's going to be just another activation of maybe, I don't know, 100 or more questions. And so this is always going to be a process. This is not conclusive. It's exciting being able to talk to Michael, being able to have the dialogue we did. I hope you really enjoy it. Look for the link below. Please go to Conflict Radio and check it out. Thanks.